Yeah, and that new topic is in GP nth term. Nth term. Listen carefully. From the end of GP. End of GP. From the end of GP. Nth term from the end of GP. Till now we find nth term from the starting. Means if you have the series like this AR, AR square, AR power 3, so on. AR power n minus 1 is the nth term. This is nth term. This is nth term. Okay. From starting onwards. Now the heading is what? Nth term from the end of GP. Nth term from the end of GP. End of GP means you should count from here. This year we taken, this is T1, right? Term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, so on, term n. This is the Tn term from starting onwards. From starting onwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the last one. Now, he is asking nth term from end. End means you should take, this is the first term. Tn is the first term, Tn minus 1 is the second term, so on. And the last term will be A, and the before last term will be AR. Like this, he is asking nth term from the end of GP. From end, if you take end is first one, then second, third, fourth, fifth, like that. If you write what is the nth term, what is the nth term in the end, from end of the GP is asking. Very simple, don't get confusion. We have till now the series from 1, 2, 3, 4, so on n. So this is the first term, this is the nth term. From starting onwards, this is the nth term. From ending onwards, what is the nth term? That is the heading. Nth term from the end of GP. Okay, this is rough. Now I will tell you nth term from the end of GP is we have already 1 by r power n minus 1, where A is first term, A is first term, R is common ratio, amma, R is common ratio, and last term is L is last term. Concentrate on this. From end onwards, we have to find nth term. And from end onwards, we are taking the first term. This is the first term as A, and the common ratio as R. And the last term is L. And the last term is L. Then this is the nth term. From ending onwards, this is the nth term. Okay. So we will prove now. See here, A comma AR comma so on L. Why we are taking L? L is the last term is set. A is the first term is set. R is the common ratio is set. This is given data in the question is given. A, AR, so on, L is given. This L is the last term. R is the common ratio. A is the first term is set. Okay, this is the GP series of this from end onwards. From end onwards, this is the GP series. Here, what is the last term? L. And can you tell me what is the before last term? Means from last onwards, second term. What it will be? That is the question. This is the L. This will be what I'm asking. Okay. We have the common ratio is what? R. The term here will be, can you expect what you'll get? L by R. And before that term will be L by R square. How, sir? If you'll not understand, I will tell you. Listen. Okay. Let us see how we are getting this L by R. L by R square. We know the last term L. We don't know the before last term and before that one and before that one we don't know, and we know only first term and the common ratio. Yeah. You do I? Now, okay, we don't know. But I'm telling these are the correct. But how we get, how we get, I will tell you. Listen carefully. A, R, so on. We don't know this one, na? We don't know this one, na? We know only what last one. And before last one, I am taking as P1. I am taking as P2. Just I am taking as P2 and P3. Suppose let P1, P2, P3 are the before terms. Now I will show P1 is L by R, P2 is L by R square, P3 is L by R square, R cube. Okay. Now see, నాకు ఇచ్చి తీసుకో. Okay. Now the common ratio we know what? R. Now see, listen carefully. Always in GP, this by this we have to do. We have to divide T2 by T1, T3 by T1, T2, T4 by, like that we have to do always, na? Second minus first, third minus second, four minus third, like that we have to do. In the same way, this by this we have to do, this by this we have to do, this by this we have to do. Now I'm applying this by this. Now this is rough work only. L by P1 is what? R given. They're given clearly R. Why? Because common ratio we take in R. So whatever it is, if you divide, you will get R. So L by P1 is R. That implies take R as denominator, P1 as numerator. Then L by R is equal to P1. So what is the P1 value? L by R. Next, P1 by P2 we will do. Okay. P1 by P2. Also R we have. Also R we have. Okay. Why? Because the common ratio is R. Now what is P1? This is only P1. L by R. L by R. Okay. L by R. So I'm writing in place of P1 L by R by what is P2? What is P2? We don't know P2. P2. We are finding P2 now. Here we don't know P1. We find P1. Here we don't know P2. We are finding P2 is equal to what? Common ratio R. Now I'm taking P2 that side, R this side. That implies L by R already there. This is numerator. If you take this side, this will be denominator into R is equal to P will be numerator P2. Now that implies L by R into R square is equal to P2. What is P2? L by R square. We taken as P2. L by R we taken as P1. And similarly L by R cube, like that we will get P3 here, P3 L by R cube. Like that you will get all terms. Okay na? He is asking what is the nth term? If you expand like this, what is the nth term he is asking? Okay, that I will prove now. Listen carefully now. Now I am entering into the proof. What is the proof? The nth term from end of GP with first term A common ratio R and last term L is 1 by, sorry, L by R power n minus 1. So we have to prove this. So in previous, this total what I told you, the concept how we are getting all terms. Now I am entering into the theorem and the proof, and the proof is first term. First term. What is the first term? A common ratio. Common ratio. What is the common ratio? R. Last term. Last term. What is the last term? L. Now what is the nth term from last is asking? What is the nth term from last term is asking? Okay na. Now see here, A, AR, so on, L. That only. A and common ratio R. That's why AR square, so on, L. But I told you just now what? A, AR, AR square, so on, L. And before that I told you L by R you will get. Before that I told you L by R square you will get. Before that I told you L by R cube. Like this you will get the terms I told you. How we will get also I explained here. This only the explanation. Okay, that's why if you write direct, if I write directly this step, you will get confusion. That's why I gave you the total. Now I enter into theorem proof. So these are the terms. Now he's asking what, from here onwards, if you write like this L by R cube like this, so on, what you will get here end, that is the question. Okay, now in previous means in every GP we count like this is T1, this is T2, so on. Na? Now from end onwards he is saying, from end onwards he is saying. Na? So this is the concept, very important word. From end onwards he is asking means this is T1 now, this is T2 now, this is T3 now, this is T4 now, so on. The last term Tn is this we have to prove. Okay, I think you are clear now. What is T1? T1 is equal to L. What is T2? L by R. What is T3? L by R square. So on. What is Tn? He is asking to prove this. Yes, very simple. L is this, na? This is equal to L by, I am writing R power, just a second, 1 minus 1. Why 1 minus 1 we wrote, sir? Yes. R power 1 minus 1 is nothing but R power 0. R power 0 is what? 1. I told you something power 0 is always 1. Why we are writing 1 minus 1, sir? It is okay, na? L? It is okay. But to get the proof, we have to write like R power 1 minus 1. Why, sir? Listen. If you listen up to end, then you can understand. You can convince yourself. That is equal to, I am writing L by, here R we have one time. Na? I am writing R power 2 minus 1. This is equal to R power 2. Na? L by R power 3 minus 1. Sir, how we can know that 1 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1? You have doubt, na? Very simple. Here, what is N1? 1 minus 1. Here, what is N2? 2 minus 1. Here, what is N3? 3 minus 1. Like that we can write. Okay, 3 minus 1 value is 2, R2. We can write R power 2 is nothing but R power 3 minus 1. We can write R power 1, R power 2 minus 1. We can write here the denominator is R power 0. 1 minus 1 we can write. If you write, see, for first one, 1 minus 1. For second one, 2 minus 1. For third one, 3 minus 1. For fourth one, 4 minus 1. For nth one, what you will get? L by R power n minus 1. For nth one, what you will get? L by R power n minus 1. Yeah, in this way we can find the nth term from the end onwards. from the end onwards. And we know already the nth term is what? Nth term is a Tn is equal to a r power n minus 1. Not this is from nth onwards, remember. This is from first onwards nth term. This is from last onwards nth term. First onwards nth term, last onwards nth term. Here a is the first term, r is the common ratio, n is the which number of term. And here r is the common ratio, L is what? Last term. L is what? Last term. They're given in the question. The last term is L. Okay. And here L is the last term. N is which number term? That is N. So these are the difference between nth term from start, nth term from end. Okay. So what is nth term from end? L by r power n minus 1. What is nth term from first? A r power n minus 1. Don't get confusion. In the question there will be mentioned. Okay. In the question there will be mentioned. That's why we can solve easily. Now I will write one question. See, question I will write. What is asking? Example 7, this is find the eighth term from end of GP 3 comma 6 comma 12 comma 24 comma so on 6144. This is the GP series given, but he is asking what? Eighth term from end, eighth term from nth we have already. Eighth term from end is what? That is nth term from end. If you know, then you can find easily. We know already nth term from end 1 by, sorry, L by r power n minus 1. Nth term from end. This is eighth term from end. That formula we have to use. Okay. If you will not mention this from end, we can use Tn equal to ar power n minus 1. Ar power n minus 1. If not mentioned from end, Tn is equal to. If mentioned, Tn is equal to L by r power n minus 1. So you should remember these two formulas and difference. Okay. Now the time is going to complete less than 1 minute. Please listen. I will send you now link. Join very fast. Don't waste time. Okay. I will send within 1 minute. I will send you. And I will give the solution of this and some more solutions also in that video.